Imagine, if you will, your tenant just moved out of a property you own and you need a few minor things fixed before you lease it out again. You contact a guy you know who does good work at a competitive price. He estimates the job to be $950, including labor and materials. But you learn he doesn't have a contractor's license. You want to make sure you do things right since you will be presenting the receipt to your former tenant. You remember something about a $500 threshold, but aren't sure about the law anymore. I mean, with inflation, is the cutoff still $500? Does this handyman need a contractor's license to perform a $950 job? I'll explain. As of September 14th, 2024, Assembly Bill 2622 amends the California State Business and Professions Code to increase the contractor's license exemption amount from $500 to $1,000. AB 2622 specifies that this $1,000 exemption applies as long as the work or operation does not require a building permit and the unlicensed person does not employ another person to perform or help perform the job. This is an aggregate amount, meaning it is for the total work involved and not just a portion of a larger job or work that needs to be done. AB 2622 also states that it is against the law for a service provider to have a sign, card, or any advertisement that would mislead someone to believing they have a contractor's license. This increase is long overdue since there's not much that can be done for just $500. Could certainly be argued that $1,000 is still too low. This higher amount presumably makes enforcement more likely, and breaking the law at this larger number sounds more egregious. Kind of like when they raised the speed limit on the freeway from 55 to 70 miles an hour. Of course, any unlicensed handyman performing work that legally requires a license should be concerned about potential fines and a criminal record. Why should an owner care if a service provider is properly licensed? We'll go more in depth in a separate blog as to why your vendors should be licensed and insured. For now, let's just say in today's tenant-friendly court system, you don't want to be facing a judge explaining why you cut corners hiring an unlicensed person to perform a repair. You also don't want to be making the same explanation to an insurance adjuster if you ever had to make a claim. With the price of maintenance and repairs being so high these days, you can't get much done for $1,000. Can a job be broken down into pieces with multiple bids under $1,000? Creative thinking should be admired and certainly can be a good thing. However, this exemption limit is an aggregate amount. Therefore, if the total of work and materials is over $1,000, then a contractor's license is legally required. Breaking a job up into 2 or more pieces does not change anything. Breaking it up means you are essentially breaking the law. If you decide to hire someone without the proper license, you are taking a risk. Having a license is not a guarantee that everything will go smoothly, but it does increase the odds. Simply put, you are more protected when someone has the proper license. Yes, the new $1,000 limit is still pretty low. At least the exemption amount has been increased from $500 to $1,000. This new higher amount is more reasonable, and there's a lot of minor repairs that can take place for under $1,000. This increase opens up legal opportunities for unlicensed technicians to get work and places a more realistic requirement for property owners. This may not be a big change, but at least it's nice to see something loosen up and become a little more reasonable for us all. Bottom line, the license exemption amount for unlicensed handymen in the state of California increased from $500 to $1,000 starting September 14th, 2024. This was done with an amendment to the California State Business and Professions Code by AB 2622. Now you can legally have an unlicensed technician perform a job that is less than $1,000, including labor and materials, provided that it is the total for the entire job, the work does not require a building permit, and the unlicensed person does not employ another person to perform or help with the job. We hope that you found this helpful and informative. If so, please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, we're not attorneys or CPAs and don't give legal or tax advice. For legal advice, please consult an attorney who is an expert in the area of law in which you have a question. For real estate advice, if you're looking for a reliable management company to help you handle a rental property, or a real estate broker to guide you through the sales process in Long Beach, Los Angeles, or Orange County, California, or if you're just considering it and have a few questions about real estate, contact the Mike Dunphy Group today. If you'd like an introduction to Long Beach property maintenance, we can set that up too.